La vie bohème. La vie bohème. La vie bohème. La vie bohème. Days of inspiration, playing hooky, making something out of nothing. The need to express, to communicate, to going against the grain, going insane, going mad. To no absolutes, to absolute. To
handcrafted beers made in local breweries. To anything taboo.
To marijuana.
Hello everyone. This is going to be a controversial video. I haven't done basically any truly controversial videos in a long time or ever. So now I expect to see a lot of comments in the comment section below. But I'm going to talk about a series of articles mentioning a law about marijuana and legalization of marijuana specifically for minors and school-age children. The first article, which premiered March 1st of 2016, Opposition to Looser Laws. This, by Russell Blair, talks about the medical ramifications, the symptoms that would arise from students using marijuana, even though it did mention the non-smokable kind. So we're not talking about inhalation, we're talking about mastication of these palatable drug forms. So the marijuana laws would, at some view, lead to the commercialization of the drug and make marijuana appear less dangerous in the eyes of children. What I want to focus on, even though I've highlighted quite a bit in this article, is the comment by John DeVeo, who is a lead person about alcohol and tobacco industries which target youth. And he compares them, saying, why would a marijuana industry be any different? For a lot of reasons. First off, have you seen the commercials lately about advertisements for alcohol and advertisements for smoking? There's a new law about advertisements for smoking, which does not allow for such commercials to be on the television. It's only in magazines that I've seen these commercials. There could be a few in there at various times, but they're not around for young children. On the box of cigarettes or tobacco products, it does say Surgeon General warning. It does say will lead to cancer, not may lead, but will lead. So that is not geared towards children. Sure, back in the 1950s with Sexy Dean, there were pictures and videos of him smoking cigarettes, Camels, I believe, and it made it enticing to young people. But now that we know the risks, the Surgeon General warning is there, and there's nothing more that needs to be said on that issue. With the alcohol industry, I have seen these advertisements. A lot of these advertisements say drink responsibly. And there's one ad in particular with female power and a song, I Need a Hero. By the end of it, you get the point. Drink responsibly.
Where have all the good men gone? And where are all the gods? Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising hawk? I need a hero. I'm holding up for a hero. To the morning light. He's gotta be sure, and it's gotta be soon, and he's gotta be larger than life. Larger than life.
The next article that I want to talk about premiered one day later on March 2nd of this year. Not sure if you can see that. And this article, Doctors Back Pot for Some Minors, only sickest kids would qualify. The backing that the pediatricians have done would say the non-smokable forms and only under 6 conditions: severe epilepsy and terminal illnesses, which I believe I highlighted over here, cerebral palsy, cystic fibrosis, uncontrollable and intractable seizure disorder, or irreversible spinal cord injury with objective neurological indication of intractable spastic. I can't pronounce that word. I'll have it posted somewhere over here. Definition: a condition in which certain muscles are continuously contracted. This contraction causes stiffness or tightness of the muscles and can interfere with normal movement, speech, and gait, meaning walk. It's usually caused by damage to the portion of the brain or spinal cord that controls voluntary movement. Those are the qualifications. Now, Senator Tony Butcher, a staunch opponent of the relaxing laws related to marijuana, raised concerns about the drug, and his specific concerns were the hallucinogenic and brain-altering and damaging components. But, as we can see later in the same article by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, that marijuana could be an option for children with life-limiting or severely debilitating conditions and for whom current therapies are inadequate. Now, this concept of therapies being inadequate is continued on my next article, which again was published on the next day, March 3rd. Plea for Kids Medical Marijuana. And this is a parent, Susan Meehan, who moved to Maine in order to try and grow this plant in order to give the oil to her daughter, who had severe and chronic seizures caused by Dravet syndrome. I've never heard of Dravet syndrome outside of this article. But she goes on to say, sometimes they're talking about attacks and maybe the impacts of family. It's not a life-changing or life-giving decision. Legalizing marijuana for pediatric use would truly impact and save many pediatric lives. As it stands, scientific evidence in favor of medical marijuana is too scant. So that means that chances are it's not going to go through. But that's what we have to work with so far. So they want to have more evidence of the dosages in children. Unfortunately, the dosages will change based on age, weight, height, their medical problem, and their medical background, what other medications they need to survive outside of those for that particular thing, or what will counteract each other. It's all chemistry and mixing and matching to see what's going to work. Some parents, this is refuting the problems that were mentioned in our previous article. Remember, those were that marijuana causes hallucinogens and brain-altering damage. So, some parents said anti-epileptic drugs have led to terrible side effects. Ready for those side effects? Extreme fluctuation in weight, behavior issues, tiredness, insomnia, and ding, 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 hallucinogens. So either you have the THC that's in the marijuana/cannabis plant, or you have the hallucinogens from the doctor prescribed pills that were made in a lab. What do you think is better, something that's natural or something that's not natural? I realize that I've already talked a great deal in a previous video about how ADD, ADHD students and their medications might change the genetic makeup of their brains and inhibit the ability to grow in children. So go ahead and watch that if you need a refresher. I'll put the link down below, but it's something to look into if cannabis, marijuana, smoking, edibles, etc., will alter brains versus something that we already do on a constant basis, prescribe Adderall, prescribe Ritalin to students with this type of disorder. I'll also link you to an article that I found online about the health risks. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching, and happy 420 to all of you out there who believe that students need this type of medication given to them because it is natural and it is something I believe works for a lot more causes than what was listed here. So, thanks. Don't forget to subscribe.